So, good evening, friends. I'm Dr. Ramesh Khare, founder of Aspirants Alive. We provide end-to-end support starting with profile building, mentoring, USMLE step 1 to 3, and other test preparation, and help all the students aspiring for a career in medical field. We are fortunate enough that we have Dr. Tushar with us today. He carries a rich experience in academia in India and USA and won many awards and accolades from government authorities, medical and education fraternities. Dr. Tushar is part of US Corporation of Educationists Worldwide that has guided students on career path. He's CEO and has over 30 years of experience in mentoring. He has worked as scientist at Bhabha Atomic Research Center. He has a vision to empower students with the best career choices corresponding to their skills, capabilities, and interest. Many students mentored by him and Astute Academy are enjoying great career in USA, Europe, and India. Without taking much of your time, I would request Dr. Tushar to guide us about USMLE, residency program, and physician associate program. You may note down your queries and will respond to those. Thank you.
Thank
Over
you
to you,
very much.
Dr. Tushar.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ramesh Khareji. And really, it is privilege to speak to the students. Let me start. So, my name is Dr. Tushar Deoras. So, we have Astute Academy, which is now we are working in this field for more than 30 years. We have the US presence where we have the academicians, the industry experts, uh, together in a single platform. That is how we really work. And today we are going to discuss basically about the medical post-graduation, whether it is in India or US, UK, Australia, New Zealand, Canada. I talk of 5 countries because National Medical Commission accept the post-graduation degree from these 5 countries. So if you do a medical PG from US, UK, Australia, New Zealand, and Canada, you can come back to India and you can start practicing from the day one. There is no entrance exam or anything. So these are the countries which are directly accepted by the National Medical Commission. So whichever specialization you complete in these countries will be valid here in India. Not only in India, globally these degrees are valid. Uh, I talk more of US because our presence also is US, and US is a very, very straightforward admission process as compared to others. So I'll be discussing as I take it the different. I use the word the medical post-graduation because there are various programs which the students are not aware of it. I will answer the questions at the last. Let me finish it. So request Varsha to just type the questions and I will take the questions at the last part of it. So before I touch to pop it in 2 minutes, I will take just to introduce the part. We call ourselves as a career counselor. We always believe in quality education and successful career. These are the two very, very critical component moving forward. And I believe that is a fundamental item, irrespective of your academic performance. You deserve to get a good career. That is the ethos with which, and that requires basically a preparation of the students. What we call is the mentoring part of it. So we prepare the students for the admissions part and we built it. So whatever, whether you go to any country, whether it's bachelor's, master's, PhD, we handle all the types of education part of it. I got many awards. The Venkaiah Naidu ji, when he was a vice president, gave the Champions of Change. This was a Niti Aayog's award. So Niti Aayog, after the Padma Award, this was the most prestigious award. After I was nominated once for Padma Shri also, but I could not get. But even a nomination itself is a great honor. So this was a jury was former Chief Justice of India, Supreme Court of the Chief Justice K.G. Balkrishnan ji, Sudha Mohan Mishra ji. So a lot of Supreme Court judges and eminent personalities were there. Very prestigious award for 25 years in compliance. Prior to that, Pride of Nation Awards. We celebrate 16th December. Just tomorrow, we are going to celebrate Vijay Divas. We won 1971 war with Pakistan and Bangladesh was created at that time. 96,000 Pakistani soldiers surrender. After World War II, it was the biggest surrender in the world. And in 14 days straight, we won that particular war. And it was really, you can see the veterans of that war General Bakshi and former Air Chief and all. So they celebrate in Delhi the pride of nation. So they celebrate Vijay Diwas there, 16 December. And Rajnath Singh at that time was there. So as a chief guest, and it was really great honors to get award from the Defense Forces. And we have been working very closely with the Defense Forces part of it. Many awards, Maharashtra Gaurav, Nitin Gadkari ji has given award. Now the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Devendra Fadnavis ji, corporate social responsibility working in the rural areas. Uttar Maharashtra Ratna, along with me, Lata Mangeshkar ji and ex-president Pratibha Tai Patil got award. It was very, very prestigious award. Getting our award alongside of Pratibha Tai Patil and Lata Mangeshkar ji is a great honor. Vinod Tawde ji, our earlier Maharashtra's education minister, had given the award. London, both houses of parliament has felicitated me. Like we are Rajya Sabha, Lok Sabha. The UK, British Parliament has House of Lords and House of Commerce. So they called me twice and they have honored for 25 years of service. Recently, the Shushruth Award was given. This was Shushruth, you may be knowing Shushruth and Charak. We were pioneers in the medical field. Our whole ancient medical journey started with Shushruth. And Government of India has constituted the award name of Shushruth. And that was the health minister at that time. I was the only person who was non-doctor. I'm a PhD doctor. I'm not a medico doctor and was got. Otherwise, there are around 10 AIMS directors and all were felicitated by this Shushruth Award. Many secretaries, doctors, very, very prestigious award. So we work with a very grassroots level. In United States, Dr. Donald Martin heads my team. He was a dean of Columbia, which you know is Ivy League University. Almost 20 years he was admitting the students, giving the evaluating the profile. So we know in and out. We have professors from the University of Chicago, Yale University. We have our medical center in New Jersey area where we have the team of the doctors. We have support from the residency hospital. I'll be talking about the residency program today. It's a really a great honor to really be having such a great team. Only one person cannot do. I always believe in teamwork. And he's retired now, almost like 43 years of experience, rich experience, knowing as a dean of Ivy Leagues, admission deans, and currently the Booth School where he worked is #1 MBA program in the world. So, you know, in India, the MD, MS admissions are very few seats, number of students are very high. The cost of education, if you get in government college, it is fine. But if you are going to private or deemed university, the cost is increasing day by day. And it is becoming, particularly if you are aspiring for the top streams, top 5 or 6 or 7 streams. Today, the NEET PG cutoffs are going very, very high. And now that exam will be shortly be replaced with a national exit exam. So as I said, we talk about the 5 countries. Currently, Canada has some restrictions which they imposed into that. They wanted the PR first to be there for the medical PG. You cannot directly apply to Canada for the residency. First, you have to take a PR for this. So for you, that you have to go for some of the medical courses there, master's level courses, and then you can get it. UK, Australia, New Zealand has got a different. Every country has got a licensing exam. And India is the country currently we don't have any licensing exam, and that is why now the movement is there for national exit exam to come. The Gazette notification is already been released. It is a question of the implementation. Recently, just 4 to 5 months back, National Medical Commission has signed a MOU with the World Federation of Medical Education for next 10 years. That is the umbrella body in United States. So now we are bringing the American education system, and you'll see the MBBS course also in 2 years' time will be restructured as a pre-medical and medical part of it. And the national exit exam will be aligned to the USMLE exam. You will see the things are moving. Australia has Australian Medical Commission exam. UK has previously PLAB exam, which is scrapped. Now the UK MLA exam. All these examinations are going to be the similar. 95% is going to be similar. So there has been a wider discussions happening, and we will see over a period of time when you prepare for one exam, actually you are preparing for 6 countries together. whichever country you go is your choice ultimately, but medical post graduation is the most important part. As I said, I advocate more of USA because it's a straightforward, the parameters are very well defined, whereas the UK, Australia, first you have to give the your licensing exam, and then you take an internship, you get a license, and the most of the selection is based on the interview. You apply, now you want to do the neurology, the doctor will take your neurology interview. Sometimes it's very difficult to give a medical interviews. Communication skills, it is test or communication skill, as the same time it is talking of thorough knowledge and we have seen the student 3 to 4 years just to enter into the post graduation part. And currently the visa restrictions are also a lot of there in many countries. UK is not allowing to settle down, whereas in United States now you get H1B on priority. There is no lottery system like engineering and other students, and you get a green card on priority in the USA. You can expect 3 to 4 years time. You can be a green card holder in United States with the medical programs. So I'll be introducing the program. So it has become easier actually for medicos to go to the United States, and if you want to settle down or you want to have green card and settle down, it is an easier process. There is no lottery or something. Waiting periods are very short as compared to the your any other streams the people are going. So that is why there are a lot of pros are there, but ultimately you can choose the country which you want basically. The whole world now is talking about one single thing: what makes a great doctor? Who is the great doctor? And there was a lot of debate. US has got a survey of around 25 years. Last doctors who are practicing for last 25 years, they did a big survey. And you can see on the World Federation of Medical Education, they say if you can diagnose a patient, you can treat a patient. Can we test your skills on the diagnostic part? Many times, if you are not able to diagnose properly, once you are diagnosing, your line of treatment and everything is clear part of it. So can we have, it is not how the heart functions and how the kidney functions and all the body parts function. If the patient is coming to you, yeah, I have a stomach pain, can you diagnose and you can treat the patient? That is the holistic view. It is not all organs are ultimately interconnected. So it is the ability. So it's not a theoretical knowledge about the how the functioning of the different parts of the body, but it is a holistically the treatment part which is there. And that is what is we talk of the clinical exposure. And India is one of the best country for clinical exposure because our hospitals have rich patient intake. We get exposed to the variety of the patient as compared to many countries the students are going. There are students are going to Russia, China, Ukraine, Georgia. The level of clinical exposure what we get in Indian hospitals, that hospital, because of the languages and many other factors also. I'm not comparing good or bad, but I'm talking of purely clinical exposure point of view. And India, now the national exit exam is round the corner. This will be aligned to the USMLE exam. You clear national exit, then only you do the internship part of 1 year, and then you clear national exit 2 part of it. Most likely next year or maybe 2026. It was already announced, but due to the 2024 election, it was postponed. So India will have the licensing exam is going to be world may 5 to 6 countries are left with there is no licensing exam. So what you have learned in the medical education, are you able to implement? Because if you lose money, you can earn it. If you lose court case, you can go to High Court, Supreme Court. But if the life is lost, there is no reversible. Human life is the most important. So there has to be some quality standards for the medicos, med doctors. And that is why these examinations, okay, you completed the course, now you prove you get a license. And all these examinations are not difficult examinations. These are, if you see the USMLE passing percentage is very high. It is an US medical licensing exam. It is not a filtering exam. Neither the national exit exam is going to be a filtering exam. Currently, NEET PG, 50% of the students are disqualified. When the national exit will come, you can see maybe initially maybe 70-80%, but eventually it will touch 90% like USMLE. USMLE currently international student around 87-88% students are passing in first attempt, and American citizens around 92%. So it is above 90% of the students are passing in first attempt. These are not as difficult examinations. The international students which come back, there's a FMG exam which has a lower passing percentage. So these examinations are not meant to filter it out. It is meant to have the minimum standards. It's eligibility to practice. And that is going to be most critical component moving forward. And the whole programs everywhere will be designed based on that. So it is a clinical exposure, your hospital exposure. The more better the you have hospital exposure, you will be able to really crack this examination. It is not a rote learning or mugging part of it. So you should be spending seriously your internship, even prior to internship, if you are in any other years of MBBS or any courses. So United States has got two programs. One program, the residency, everybody is aware of the residency program. Everybody is, I think, aware of the USMLE, and there has been a lot of fear about USMLE. I don't know why. Any exam which is close to 90% passing percentage is not a rocket science exam. You need to understand the exam properly and you have to address that exam. It's a long exam because a full day exam, so it puts a lot of pressure psychologically and other things. And our students are good and they are doing very, very well. Today, out of all practicing doctors in United States, 30% are Indians. When the USMLE was very tough, step one, step two, step three. The step two was clinical knowledge, CK, and the CS, clinical skills. All these exams over a period of time, people are saying very difficult, but we today 30% of the doctors in United States, they cleared all the exams. Indians are really ready to give any exam. So first you remove all this part of fear. Hard work is required everywhere. If you are putting a proper hard work, you do the systematic work, no examination is difficult. And another program, it is not mandatory to get a license to practice allopathy in United States without USMLE. That is a wrong myth. The USMLE residency is one of the pathway. Another pathway to enter, if somebody feels, USMLE, I don't want to give or any of the things, there is another program called Physician Associate. Okay, I'll first introduce this program because there is a lack of awareness about it, and then I'll talk about the residency also. Both are very, very critical, and both no program is good better than others. It's a parallel programs, and the physician associates also are taking a pride. They are in all specialty. So this is a one website, AAP, American Association of Physician Associate. You should go to this website. It has got each and every. It's a government of USA website. Physician Associate is the medical post-graduation program in United States. It has a duration of 24 to 36 months. So surgical branches which are there goes to either 28 or 32 or maximum is 36 months. If you are an orthopedic surgeon and then you want to become a shoulder replacement or knee replacement, so you are doing super specialization, what we say, or DMs in India. So that is why the duration varies from but it is internal medicine or standard branches. It is a 2 years program. 175 American universities accept the Indian students, international students. International student, they define anybody who has done medical education outside of United States and Canada. So other than the United States and Canada, if you've taken a medical education from any country, this is the program, which is a medical PG physician associate program. Physician associate program does not require you to hold a medical degree. You don't require, like a residency program, you have to be an MBBS doctor. In India or any other country, whichever the allopathy degree is there, that is a mandatory degree to apply to the residency program. But physician associate does not require a specific degree. It only talks about you should be a bachelor's education and you should have completed the eligibility, what they call in American standard prerequisites. In India, we say eligibility. So like in MBBS admission in India, what we say is eligibility. You should have taken 11th and 12th physics, chemistry, biology with 50% marks. You are eligible to apply to MBBS. Your admission may be on the NEET marks, but you should get physics, chemistry, biology with 50% marks. Now government is trying to remove that also. You may be knowing CUET exam is already around the corner, which will eventually replace the NEET and the even engineering, JEE mains, JEE advanced. So this is a course which is a 2 to 3 years. It's a university course. So there are 308 universities. Out of that, 175 universities, Indian students or international students. Balance universities are reserved for the American students. So this is a master's degree, which also has 2000 hours, almost like a 1 year of the hospital exposure which is there. So 2 plus 2 works 1 plus 1. So 1 year of theory part of it and 1 year of the hospital, and some of the courses, as I say, surgical and all slightly more hospital rotation. This program started in 1967, uh, and currently practicing doctor almost like 178,000 doctors, almost like a 500 million patient interactions they are doing. They are doing great work actually in United States. 1 million is 10 lakhs. You can talk about the huge number almost of the doctors which is there. And it is one of the very, very premium program. They are called in short PAs, Physician Associates program. So it has got a certification with licensing exam post completion, which is called the PANSE. Like USMLE is exam before you enter the residency, and that is why it is difficult, because it is before entering the US residency program you are taking it. Where this exam is post, if you go to any university website, they will tell you 96 to 98% of the student pass in first attempt and 100% of the student pass in second attempt. 96 to 98% student pass in first attempt. It is not rocket because it is a post completion of this course. So licensing exam is mandatory. So in US, there are two licensing exam for the allopathy practice. One is a USMLE and another is the PANSE. So two licensing exams which are there in United States. Actually, there is a third licensing exam also, which is a complex, which is for doctor of osteopathy. Those who are going for doctor of osteopathy, there is a third licensing exam, but very rarely, because for that still there is no course in India. So you have to, after 12th, you have to fly down to the United States, or we have the Parul program. Parul University, we have got 4 years of pre-medical program through which we can go and make it into that. All specialties, almost like 30%, 28 to 30% are surgical doctors. Now, sometimes what happens is if you want to become a surgical doctor in residency, it is very difficult. It's a very competition is very, very severe in clinical and residential, some of the programs in United States, because number of seats available for international students in residency in surgical are less. So if you have great profile, you can definitely, there are a large number of doctors who are practicing surgical in residency also. But it is a more tougher into that because you need to really have a good. It is not an average students can really go, but even average students wanting to go to surgical fields and all this is a physician associate program. So you need to decide what specializations also you are looking into that. Dermatology is again, plastic surgeries are very, very difficult. Even orthopedic surgeries are there. Is very, very difficult to get in residency, which is easier to get here in physician associate. Physician associate is very, very straightforward. Most of the time, they don't really care the number of the students into that. Currently, other may even gynecology is there, palliative care is there, psychiatry is there, addictive medicine, pain management. This is all 26%, which is others. Internal medicine always go decently. And this is basically one of the great programs into that. But as I said, to get an admission, it doesn't require a medical degree, but it requires a prerequisites program. It has got a 3 intakes. So 175 universities are divided into 3 parts. Some university has a January intake, some university has March intake, some university has got August. I request everybody to, you can type the questions in the chat box or question and answer tab, and I'll take it, the questions later. So 3 intakes. So when you complete your prerequisites, whatever available intake as there, so throughout the year, this admissions normally happens into that. Very high salaries, around 1 lakh 25. Now it is more actually. There are certain, if you are going to surgical and other, it is close to $2 lakh. But I'm slightly more conservative, so I'm putting the figures. This is the really first year. So it's a really a very, very high level of salaries. which physician associates gets into that. There's a severe shortage of doctors. Job scenario wise, it is trending number two job trending in United States. What is the most sought after jobs in United States? Physician associate is trending at the number two of all the jobs across the field, jobs into that. So you'll never face any issue of not getting into that. In fact, people choose the things into the physician associate. As I said, prerequisites are key. And prerequisite also has got a robust clinical profile, 250 hours to 2000 hours. So topmost level of institutes may require even a 2000 hours. What is prerequisites? So prerequisites, nothing but our regular medical subject. What they want you to do, because physician associate is only 2 years program. And as I said, the physician associates need not be a medical professional. You might have done BSc biology. You might have done in United States as a pre-medical, even biotechnology, biomedical engineering, physiotherapy, microbiology. You may be Ayurveda student, you may be homeopathy student, you may be any biological science or even non-biological science. We have with us Dr. David Kaufman, who is the number one doctor in New Jersey for infectious disease. In New Jersey areas and the COVID time, you know how much these doctors were in demand, infectious disease. And his basic degree was Bachelor of Arts. He started with the Bachelor of Arts and he took the subjects, so anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, microbiology, chemistry, organic chemistry, genetics, medical terminology. So these are standard, and the healthcare exposure into that in India also, and we need to take 2 or 3 months in United States also. We need to have some clinical exposure, what we call in rotations in that particular part. Now, these are the prerequisites. There are various ways to complete this prerequisites part. Okay. So these are the prerequisites, either can be done online, sitting here in India. We can connect with the American universities and we can do it. Or we can physically fly down to United States and we take a transfer into a courses. I will introduce those courses also to you. So these are the things, these are prerequisites, means it is eligibility. Now, out of these 10 subjects, every university has got a liberty to choose 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 subjects. It is not that all the universities will require. Some universities require anatomy. Some university says, okay, I don't require anatomy. Some university says, okay, biochemistry and organic chemistry, both are not required. I can take only the one of the things, organic chemistry or biochemistry. But these combinations are working like that because out of 175 universities, every university has a different admission cycles and their eligibilities are different. Even one subject you are not taken, you will not be even considered for the competition. It is the eligibility part. So it is a mandatory subjects which are there for these subjects. Some subjects will be 1 semester. 1 semester they call 3 credits. 2 semesters, 6 credits. So if I take a particular biology subject for 1 year in India, it is considered a six, and one credit for labs. So 4 plus 4. If it is the lab, anatomy lab is also there, or chemistry lab is there, 4 plus 4. That type of system. Every university. So the website I told you, aapa.org. It has got all the list of the universities which accepts the international students. So there is a tab filter. You can click on the who can accept international. You can click on any university and it will tell you what is the prerequisites. Each and every information. You need not go to any other website. It's a single website. It will take you university fees. What is the fees? What programs is there? What is eligibility is there? What is the duration it is there? Each and every information is available on aapa.org. American Association. It is a government of USA. You don't go to any forums or any other. You should go only official website because that is the most authentic information. And second, you can go to the respective university websites. So what we have done is those students who are already in the completed the medical, I have written MBBS, but it can be any student, as I say, any stream student. And either you are in internship and into that, then you can take as soon as you finish your internship or during internship, you start connecting with an online program So we connect with American university. There are recorded lectures. So anatomy you are already done here in India. Now you connect with the anatomy, just go through recorded lectures and give online examination. So people are completing two subjects in even 1 month. It depends on how much is your proficiency here in India. But these subjects are not very difficult. It's a recorded lectures. It can speed up your whole process. Because two subjects you can finish 1 month or 1.5 months. If you finish it, you will be able to finish these subjects. Some students have 5 to 6 months time. They have finished all the subjects which is in online mode. Some students have taken more time. It depends on to that, because we need to get a good marks also in prerequisites. Why I'm saying the prerequisite, we need to get a good marks, because in our Indian system of education, people don't get 95 or 98% marks. In MBBS, nobody gets 97, 98% marks. We have many students on 50s or 60s, 55, 58, 60, 65%, a large number of pool of subjects. They are not inferior. It is our marking system. But in United States, you get 4 out of 4 or 3.8 or 3.9 out of 4 GPA, grade point average. Now, how do you compare the Indian students with the American citizens? That has always been a big challenge. So there are being some agencies called WES and EC, which converts, but they never did for medical actually. Because from India, very few students in the past have gone for physician associate, because there is no awareness. People are not knowing this program at all. That's the biggest problem for us. Is this program is but it's a huge program, but they don't know about it. So we get the prerequisite. Twice you can give the exam. You give the exam if you get less marks. So we need to get good marks, because it will then they tell you, when if I am got a 60% marks in MBBS or the Ayurveda or homeopathy, but I can get 3.8 or 3.9 in American system, and that proves that your 60% marks is equivalent to maybe 97, 98% marks in United States. And students, I have students, some of the students are getting 4 out of 4. Absolutely. It is very easy, because they have already done these subjects into that. Other parts, if you are already studying into that particular program, so these are the online part of it. If you are in the first year, second year MBBS, third year MBBS type of students are there, you can every year take maybe some few subjects. You can go slightly slower, because you are still in the system. So you can take this examination, whichever examinations which are there, you can take it. I suggest the chemistry and biology, you should take it first, because they have taken in 11th and 12th. Normally, in American systems, they have very high focus on chemistry, biology, and psychology. Even for the Doctor of Medicine program, they test on these three skills. So in India, we have, unfortunately, our focus is less. So we cover the biology and as well as the chemistry mostly in 11th and 12th. And you are then completing 5 to 6 years of education, medical education. Then you give exam. Most of the time, you have forgotten your chemistry, which is there in 11th. And that is why it is essential that you take that examination. So if you are in second year, third year, at least you are refreshed the 11th and 12th part, and you can really score good marks into that. So this same subjects, we can take it properly through the 3 years period, 2 years period, whichever year you are there, so that it can be a smooth transition when we move to the United States. Uh, in addition, there are integrated programs. So a lot of integrated programs. So what we do is we say, okay, yeah, let's go to the integrated program, because how the admission happens is you applied, you complete prerequisite, you apply to the universities. University will go through your program, and some of the students will call for the interviews happens, and then actually your admission happens. Integrated programs in the same flow, so you have to maintain a minimum GPA, grade point average, but it is an integrated program. We can transfer all the online credits. So whatever online credits you are done in second year, third year, or even after that, we will transfer it into that. And around 3 to 4 years time, depending on again specialization, you will be in, you fly to USA physically. You complete before flying, you complete it in India, whatever prerequisite, those prerequisites will transfer. Balanced prerequisite you complete in United States, and you are entering into the PA program. So there are Bachelor of Science PA integration, Or Master of Public Health is another very popular program. Many students are going for Master of Public Health and Master of Public Health PA. So it's like a pre-PA, PA integration part of it, which is really good. The pre-medical program, as I said, we are also now running in India the pre-PA programs, which is we are launching in many universities the pre-PA programs into that. So this is one of the very preferred option. So this option takes care of both the things, online as well as the offline combination. It will reduce your cost of education also, because online education is almost like one third of the cost of you are going to physically. So rather than going to the full course to United States, but if you feel there are students coming to me, "Ki, I'm not very comfortable with online," then you can go around 4 years. If you have completed a bachelor's degree, in 4 years' time, you go to the United States, and at the stretch, you complete up to the PA. It is one of the best options actually to move at least for one semester, 2 semester to the United States before we enter into the PA program. This is going to be really one of the changes, and universities are more receptive because now the pandemic area when was there 2 3 years, they were taking online interviews. Now they are asking for the physical interviews also. So this physician associate is a great program. Definitely, it requires proper prerequisites and all, but it's like in India, we do MD, MS for 3 years. Plus, after that, you go for some super specialization. 3 to 4 years time, you are able to complete this program in United States. If you compare the cost, as I said, your salary is 1 lakh 25 to 1 lakh 50,000. 1 year or 1.5 years, you repay complete bank loans. US, the bank loans are the easiest part of it, and you can repay the bank loans in 1 to 1.5 years. Medicos, lawyers and medicals are highly paid in United States, and this is a starting salary, 1 crore plus in Indian rupees. We don't get any homeopathy or Ayurveda student cannot really even dream of getting 1 crore here in India after 15 20 years of exposure also. And this is your freshman entry level salaries. Another program is definitely residency. Most of you know residency is a free program. They will, physician associate is a university program. So their fees are charged. Residency is a free program. They will pay you the stipend $5 to $10,000 per month, depending on the city. If you are in New York City, New York is very costly. So they will pay you more. They will cover your living expenses. They will basic needs. You can maintain a car. That's what is the, so lavishly. Indian students going to USA for masters and any other program, they stay $1,000 may full year, living plus food. $1,000 you are getting minimum $5,000. This is a very very handsome. Normally in $2,000 you can stay in United States lavishly with maintaining car also. So almost half the money you are can save it while you are in the post graduation itself. After post graduation, residency salary starts with $2 lakh on onwards. It's 1.5 to 2. Now the if you have 10 years, 15 years, like almost you double the things. It is one of the really good and that program into that for. So USMLE for the admission has got now the 15 to 20% weightage in some countries, but this is being used as a the filtering exam for interviews. This year, this is a major change which has happened is, so USMLE you have to crack it good. There's no question that you can take the USMLE lightly. Okay, even though in overall weightage, but if you don't get the interview calls itself, then there is no point. You may be great profile, you might have done many research projects or profile building, but you are less in USMLE. Your chances you are reducing into the admissions part. So USMLE is becoming a very very critical. 2 years to 3 years again, as I said, during the pandemic they were slightly less because many USMLE exams were cancelled, and because of pandemic, many countries, not in United States but many countries, the exams were not happened in a proper way. So they had relaxed it. Now USMLE is again bouncing back the part of it. The most peculiar part, once you pass the USMLE, you cannot repeat for say. There's no improvement. Like NEET PG you take this year, you get less marks. Again, next year you appear, you can try to improve it. USMLE, you are stuck. If you fail, you can retake it. But it doesn't look good to fail in an examination which 90% of the students are passing in first attempt. If the 90% of the students can pass a particular examination, it is not a rocket science or difficult exam, as I said. So why you want to fail it? Because then you show you are in a balanced 10% of the student. You are not in top 90%. You reduce your chances of getting the admissions part of it. Step one has become pass and fail. 196 out of 300. Previously, step one may you need to get really high marks. Again, all this USMLE exam, as I said earlier, is a clinical based patient diagnosis. So pathology, physiology, biochemistry almost constitute more than 90% of the syllabus. So you give the patient symptoms, you give the reports, four options, diagnose, 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 diagnose. And it is just a pass and fail exam. 196, they don't declare neither the university knows or hospital knows they got how much marks into that. Clinical skills exam has been scrapped, where you have to fly down to United States in 12 chambers, 12 patients. You have to physically meet the patients, take a history, diagnose. It was very, very difficult to really this exam. This is permanently scrapped, this examinations. They are relying on the clinical skills locally available. So clinical knowledge exam, step 2 CK. So step 1 is pathology, physiology, biochemistry. In this 60% is internal medicine, 10% gynecology, 10% pediatrics, psychiatry, and surgical. So it's a very well structured examination. Actually, these examinations are very, very structured examination. So that the hospitals are, as I say, always the strength of India. Our strength is the patient, the flow, patient flow. So Indians are doing very, very well. But recent changes, okay, 250 plus in this, because this is the only exam which marks are visible. If you are not getting the 250 plus, your chances you are reducing for the interviews. And then it is must to take a step 3. Otherwise, step 3 is not required. But if you are getting less than 250 marks today, because step 1 is just declaring pass and fail. You may be 196, you may be 270. The university doesn't know whether you are 196 or you are 270 marks. So that is the exam which is just a basic exam. It is like a eligibility exam. But step 2 CK is the most critical exam. If you are not getting, this year we have seen the students getting very, very few. Students are getting, then you get a bottom streams, not a premier streams. You don't get into the admission. You don't get even interview calls in those stream if you are 250 plus. Good part, you can pace your exam. It happens almost every week. It is not a once a year exam like NEET exam once a year. The day you feel you are prepared into that, you can take this particular examination. So step 1 has become now 196 out of here, pass and fail. Step 2 CK, we require 204. But if you get 214, you will not get admission. We require 250 plus marks into that. It is a targeted scores are higher, but passing wise, you may pass it. Then you have to do the step 3. Now CS is gone. So step 3, you have to do it. Step 3 may you can get, even though I have written a target as 250, but even if you get 220, 230 type of marks also, it is fine. But then step 3 becomes mandatory if in case you are getting the step 2 CK less marks. And that is going to be the very, very critical component into that. Once you are asked for the interviews, what they will be completely checking is basically how much of research projects you've done, your publications part. So there is a centralized application process called ERAS, so electronic residency admission process. ERAS has got, you have to have a 10 critical experiences. What I mean by experiences, either it can be work experience, it can be voluntary experience, you may be some hobbies, there may be some trainings, additional training other than your degree program. You have taken some additional training, other certifications we have done. You have done maybe poster presentations, you have got oral presentations. So a lot of things around 10, which is substantial. Out of that, 3 has to be very big, actually, substantial. And along with that, the research projects. So your research projects has to be, some are published, some may not be published. As I say, poster presentations, oral presentations, articles, we have to write lot of articles. That is very critical. Your social environmental work, part of it. Clinical rotations in American universities. So you have to fly to United States, work under a doctor for 2 months, 3 months. You get a letter of recommendation from the American doctors. That is very valuable into that. You can do virtually also, connecting like I'm connecting just now with you on the video conferencing. You can connect with American hospitals. You can talk one-to-one with doctor and patients. They will explain you the case history. You can talk to directly to patients. You can speak to ask the questions of doctor and diagnose. That is also many students third or fourth year when they are sitting in India can do it into that. So we apply for the visa. Program selection is most critical. So after I did a profile building, a voluntary experience, this and that, everything, research papers. So we are big team. We have professors from Yale University and different university will handle one-to-one for research projects. We have the doctors team here in India which do multiple projects. So some are projects are individualistic project, big projects, one or two as the individualistic project you have to showcase. And some projects can be group projects where 4 or 5 people. I don't want 10 and 12 people joining together. When we say group is the short group. There are in US, many companies are providing 12, 15. Somebody writes an article and 15 people are added. That has no value. Yeah, Americans also knows. So it has to be a small, it should be good projects into that. So if you start from first year MBBS, you can do many projects. It's a time is research projects cannot be done overnight. If you see, okay, I'll do the research projects on that. So program selection is most critical. There are almost like a residency 40,000 seats and 42,000 students apply. Slightly more than 40,000 because some are filters in interviews. Indian students, international students can apply to only 12,000 seats. Out of 40,000, only 12,000 seats the international students, Indian students can apply. And current statistics around 60%, 58 to 60% of the people get residency. So the program selection becomes the most critical. Many times the student has a great profile but still could not get a residency. If every student apply to AIMS, will every student get admission to AIMS? Definitely not. You apply based on your profile. So you apply to government college, private college, deemed universities, different places. You apply based on your NEET marks or whatever your profile is that you get admission. By aspiring, I want AIMS, I will not get AIMS. So people aspire, oh, I want to go to New York City, I want to go to New Jersey, I want to go to this particular. US has got a 50 states. People don't know also. In India, it is a merit-based admissions. So if I feel AIMS above and then I can get another college. In the same form, I can get another college. In United States, it is you have to evaluate the chances of admission first. Your first rank, when you fill the preference form, your chances of admission becomes most critical. So if I have put my chances of education for particular university, and university has also evaluated me, so they will go through all these profiles and they will call you selective students for interview, and then based on the complete all these profiles they will rank me. That is called the rank order list. And then the students, if I have taken 25 interviews, I will rank that 25. Both has matched. That is why that process is called match process. That algorithm requires 52 parameters. The person who designed this algorithm got Nobel Prize. The person who designed this algorithm got Nobel Prize. Think how complex that app. It is not merit based. Okay, you may have a very great profile, you still cannot get residency, and there is the average students get the residency. Because where to apply? Maybe you are not applied to Ohio State, Michigan State, you are not gone to Texas or different. So you have to evaluate out of this 12,000 programs where to apply. Most critical part, many people blindly, oh, New York is a great city, I know California is great, New Jersey is great. I just blindly applied without doing any analysis. Anita, you have to do analysis on 52 parameters. It's not an easy task. It's the most complex. And many times when I say 60% of the students are matching, it is not they were not capable enough to get a residency. It is not. They were good students, but they applied to wrong place. They applied only AIMS. They did not apply to the local state government college or state private college. And that is why they only applied to AIMS. They could not get it because competition was severe. New York, such a pile of applications are coming in New York City. Everybody applying to New York. Documentation, very, very critical. Your university documentation, letter of recommendation. You have to work for six months on letter of recommendation. Documentation. MSP, one report is there at college level. Now, many colleges don't know anything about that report. We have to explain to them. It is your performance as related to other students in the class. Your performance as related. So if I got 150 MBBS seats are there, I have to do. And then the residency interview. Communication skills, very critical. So we have to work on communication skills. You should know American accent very, very well. So when you go to 2-3 months there, and match is the process, as I say, it's matched. And SOAP is supplementary round. Like in India, we say second round, third round, fourth round. US, but in 1 day, 4 rounds. 1 day, 4 rounds. 9 o'clock in the morning, first round, 12 o'clock, second round, 3 o'clock, third round, 6 o'clock. They will give one hour time. You have to really prepare. You have to speak to the universities. And this year, after the match, almost like 2,600 seats were vacant. This year, every year, seats go vacant in residency. It is not all the seats are ever filled in the residency. Even surgical fields, almost like a 500 to 700 seats went vacant because people don't apply. Problem is there, people don't apply to the university, and that is why they could not get really a right candidate. So it is the admission process is very, very critical. So beside the USMLE, your profile building and the admission process, the three pillars which are very, very critical. So USMLE is equally important. Your profile building, research profile is very, voluntary experience is most critical part. Your rotations in US hospitals. So we handle complete part of it. So from USMLE, profile building, hospital rotations, we have 450 hospitals affiliation in United States. Any stream, any type of rotation. You want to do surgical rotations, internal medicine is mandatory. But if you can do surgical, gynecology, you name the rotations, we can provide you. Anyone virtual rotation. We prepare documentation, program selection, complete IRAS application, interview we prepare. So my team in United States will speak one-to-one and prepare you for all these things. So we have team, as I said, Dean of University, professors from Yale University, they will talk one-to-one. This is not a group program. This is not a group program. It is individual. So Dean of the admissions or Dean of the persons will speak. Our applications are validated by many program directors who actually do the admissions. We validate this. Every word in the statement of purpose is critical into that. High level of work in United States. We have very, very senior team. Both physician associate actually program in whole of India. Other than us, nobody can give you admission. I have not seen anybody else in India who can get admissions in the physician associate program also. And now it's residency. Earlier, it was more weightage was given to the USMLE. If you crack USMLE, you get admission. So there are so many classes. Now it is balanced. So USMLE, you have to do well. But at the same time, it is not sufficient only to crack the USMLE and your other profile is not there. That is going to be most critical component. And this is a program is one-to-one program. So my whole team will always talk. Every student we feel is different. So there cannot be a group program because we need to customize this program as per students' profile. We have to build a profile of the students. So it's individual research project has to be done individually. So we'll help you. My mentors will help you to get a research project. And that is a valuable. It is actually you have done it. It is not just somebody else is given you on the platter part of it. These are the websites which no other websites are required. These are all government official website. NRMP is the residency portal. So this is the portal, residency portal, where all the admissions happens. Match, SOAP, and everything part of it. ECFMG is a portal. It is the Commission for Foreign Medical Graduate. Anybody who has done MBBS out of the US and Canada has to register with this. They will validate your university, your college. So second year, after completion of second year, please register with this ECFMG. You cannot give the USMLE exam unless you are registered with this. 3 ECFMG, you can schedule your USMLE and other. Other is the usmle.org, which is, as in the name suggests, it's a complete examination, what is exam, what is syllabus, sample questions, everything. And NBME, yeah, the paper setters for the USMLE exam. So NBME is umbrella organization which sets a paper for USMLE. There are mock tests, full length mock tests are there. So if you want to take a mock test, this is the NBME is the site. In India, National Medical Commission, which is the official site, and Physician Associate AAPA. If you go, you no need to go to any forums. You don't need to come to my website also. These are all most authentic. NRMP, you will get last 10 years data. Who got admission where? If you want to check it admissions, you want to check last year admission cycle. This year, 2024, already it is the data has been published. University wide the data is being published. All the data is available. If somebody says the Indians don't get a clinical or surgical, it is wrong. You can see the data. This is actual published data by government. Now, government data cannot be false, na? But you need a competition. So in India also, if you want to get a surgical, definitely you require better marks in the NEET. There is no question about it, na? As you get better and better branch, your NEET cutoffs also goes to increasing in India also. So it is same as the US also. You need to have a slightly better profile to get top branches into that. These are all official websites. Most authentic information. This is don't go to any forums and everything. So many different forums mislead you. This will give you each and everything. What was the last year cutoff? I'll show you one or two screens also. So surgical and clinical is not definitely physician associate mate is easier. But if you're a good student, you should try. Residency is always a great program. This is also the data which is the step 2 CK. So step 2 CK is also, as I said, is one part. So blue is admitted students, green is rejected. You may see very high marks also students are rejected in green. Green is rejected. And sometimes low marks in USMLE also gets admission. So anesthesia, child neuro, this is for international students. This is non-US IMG data. Non-US IMG is international medical. You are not an American citizen. Dermatology to diagnostic radiology, emergency medicine, family medicine, general surgery, internal medicine, pediatrics, radiology, neurological surgery, neurology, gynecology, orthopedic surgeon, pathology, pediatrics, rehabilitation, plastic surgery, psychiatry, radiation oncology, vascular surgery. Name the branches, all are available to international. But you need to really prepare a profile very, very well. This is all published data. You can go to nrmp.org and you will get all the data. For every year, you will see slight changes. So even some of you may have great marks in the USMLE, but if you have not created the balanced profile, you will not get admitted. Somebody 260, 265 marks in USMLE step 2 TK, not getting interview calls also. So USMLE you should be, because it's clinical, you should take 6 months after internship, step 1. And step 2 CK, you complete your internship, go 2 months to 3 months in US, and then you take it. Because at the time, you know how the American doctors diagnose. See, it is about the diagnostics. The way we diagnose in India and way the American doctors diagnose is slight difference. We have seen 10% marks increase when you first do the rotation and then you take the step 2 CK. Because this is the most critical exam, as I say. I want 250 plus exam. Don't rush it into this exam. There's no need to. Step 1 you can take any time. I'm not much bothered about the step 1 part of it because it is a pass and fail exam. But I'm more particular about the step 2 CK exam. As long as you do some virtual, you go fly to USA, then you increase your chances of really getting into the part of it. But as I said, every student is different. There are certain students who have done well also. See, Indians have already done well. As I said, 30% are Indian. There are students who are able to crack inside. Third year also, students have cracked the step 2 CK. It is not they are not cracked in the past. But now at the time it was more theory oriented. Now it is more of a clinical. Clinical means patient exposure. Unless you have got a proper patient exposure, don't try it. Because you are stuck for 7 years. Please understand, it is not about passing. 90% students are passing. You will pass in first attempt. I know you are all brilliant student. You may pass it in first attempt. But if you get less marks, you are reducing another charges. Why were you are? What is the hurry as it is in doing this part of it? So all the students, so we build a profile. That is 80%, 85% you have to build. We will put the emphasis into that. So USMLE programs which are there, so USMLE training and all these things. So complete end to end, whether you are, so normally as a career counselor, I will evaluate and I'll tell you what is the best things you should be doing it. There are certain students who are slightly weak in academics. We tell them to fly to MPH program in US also. And during the MPH, you prepare for USMLE and all other things. You prepare for the USMLE and at the time and you give it. If you are really wanting residency also and your profile is not that great, then it is essential. Sometime there are a lot of students goes for MPH program in United States also. You go to New York City, there the trainings are also available if you want it. But that is not we are recommending to each and every student. Right? Every program has got some positive, negative. But MPH is a great program to enter a residency because then you are in the United States. You get a really great hospital exposure in United States because they work 6 to 8 months in hospital. You have MPH degree, they look it very positively. When I speak to the program directors also, they always say, because we are aware now the US degree, we are not aware. They get application from 120 countries. Now medical education in all 120 countries are different. Now they started last year the accreditation process, re-accreditation process. That is the part which is going on currently, accreditation. And one good news is National Medical Commission has been already been accredited. So any university colleges which are there, we are up in pathway number 1 and pathway number 3, both. What pathway number 3 gives me is without getting a license, I can apply for residency. Okay, without. It is a college specific. So if your college is good in the pathway number 3, so you can go to again ECFMG website, go to the pathway number 3. They have list of the colleges. India and internationally. So you might be doing degree from China, Russia, or any other country also. Check whether you are in the pathway 3. If you are in pathway 3, you don't have to come back to India and give FMG and do the internship also. From China and Russia, you can directly fly for residency to USA. From there itself, directly you can go to USA. You need not come to India for FMG and other. If your college is into the part, knew the gazette notification for national medical wanting you to take the licensing also. Now that is one additional thing, which is if you are going to China, Russia, you have to take a license also. Now here residency doesn't ask for licensing. Residency doesn't ask. India is asking for the residency, but US is not asking for the to the licensing. You clear that licensing part of it. So if the students are struggling with FMG and all of the things, also this is a great opportunity to look at these programs into that, where you can go and you can have really a great medical career in United States with a great salaries and other things. So a lot of things are there. We can have one-to-one call and everything. So ultimately it is we are preparing you for the getting in residency as early. We start with first year MBBS, as I said, because that is the part I get 5 years and then I can really make your profile so that at the final year, then you are ready for the residency program. So Astute Academy is my website and Astute Promo is my YouTube channel where you can see the part of it. You can always get connected with me. If you have any questions, now we can go to the questions part of it. So I'm Dhananjay. My question, why the people and the government not promote the Ayush courses? We feel we very regret when and these both courses are better than, I don't know. See, but Ayush has been pushed in India. It is our education system. It is a students actually, which needs to do some research. I always believe no therapy is better than another therapy. And in fact, we are moving to an area where in next 2 years time, you will see the MBBS, Ayurveda and homeopathy can be taught in a single college. You will get a degree, all three parts of it. Lot of syllabus is overlap. In fact, national education policies already put it, let's merge the 3 degrees. Why you want to have homeopathy separate and Ayurveda separate and the allopathy separate? Can we not teach the doctor all 3 therapies? He can treat the patient better. It is a question again, is the government has to take that decision, but it was introduced in the parliament actually. The statement was made by the health minister in the parliament, but then the lot of hue and cry and lot of objections were raised. So they even if the current national education policy, you read 2020 policy, they have written optional. So the Ayush ministry is doing it. It's a separate ministry. It is being pushed. But I believe that it is individualistic. You need to decide which stream. No stream is good or bad. Is it better to study medical from India or abroad? Definitely, you go out of India when you want better than AIMS New Delhi. It is as simple as that, I answer. You should not be looking at any international destination as always a quality destination. Not all the colleges internationally are great in any country for that matter, whether it is USA, UK, Australia. You have to choose the programs actually which are better than AIMS New Delhi. That is why you are going to that. And what sense you are saying is research. Medical field is fast changing. 25 years back, somebody became MBBS. He never thought of knee replacement. Today, we are talking of heart replacement surgeries are happening. After 25 years, something new will come. We have chemotherapy given to the patient and next day he goes to office. That level of drugs have come in cancer. We still have the chemotherapy if you give is a bad condition physically and psychologically. Medical field is a research oriented field. Something new is coming constantly, and that is where the most of the research happening in universities in United States. When you go there, you work with that level of doctors who has indulged in research. In India, we have great doctors, but that doctor is so busy. Since morning to evening, he is busy. He starts his day 6 o'clock. He starts operating in the operation theater. Then he does his OPD, and by the evening, he's not able to go and teach in the colleges or even share the knowledge in India. We are really struggling the teachers part of it in colleges. So we are great doctors, but they are not really able to contribute that much time with the students here. There it is mandatory. You'll see the best of the doctors interacting with you, teaching with you. That is what is something which is important part of.
I think you have already responded, Dhananjay,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
is
because same
government
question.
priority ultimately.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. See, we cannot dictate what government should do. See,
right.
it is a government policy. We can always hope for the best. It is what we can do for the so you are free to promote Ayush. There is no question about it. It's we can always suggest it, but let's see. It will happen. See, changes are not. We are changing every time. It is a positive movement is happening. 5 years back and today's, if you see, is a lot of syllabus changes are happening in MBBS. It's constant now. World Federation of Medical Education is introducing America. There lots of changes of syllabus is happening. So we will see.
There,
They try to copy in between the transgender issue was there in syllabus into that, because in USA they treat the transgenders are different than in India. And they just copied it directly, and then there was controversy, and they have to remove it. But those are the things which are there. But they want really National Medical Commission is ultimately umbrella body. They have to do their own work.
there was a question
Without
about the
comparison. Yeah.
non-qualified people. What is this? So you have already explained the PA
Yeah.
program, I believe.
Yeah, so other than MBBS is for residency. If you are not MBBS, any other biologics are physician associate. Even today, large number of MBBS students are coming to physician associate because either some students are not able to clear USMLE, or second they want a better branches. Okay, I want to become an orthopedic surgeon only. I don't want any other branch. But I don't have profile for the orthopedic surgeon for residency. Then what I should do? Then I will not be getting a residency orthopedic surgery. So then, but still I want to become an orthopedic surgeon. It is a physician associate.
So I
We
think
require to tell you. Yeah, yes.
yeah. So we will take the questions on chat or on our email, and I think you have explained very well, and all the doubts must have cleared so far. But even if it is there, we are there to help.
Yes.
And for today, I think I don't see any other question on chat, but we are there. You can ask any question.
Anybody
Our
wants to
team,
speak also can raise a hand.
yeah, they
I
can
can unmute him.
raise the hand. Yeah,
Yeah, you can raise
yeah.
a hand if anybody wants to speak. If they don't want to, you can raise the hand, and I will be happy to unmute yourself. Or you can type it, or you can speak. You can just click on the raise hand symbol, and I will unmute you. Both are great programs, and medical PG has acceptance in India. Okay, somebody has raised a hand. I will just see.
Uh, sir, I am Dhananjay, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
Sir, I want to ask you that I understand, sir, what you have said. Sir, please explain me about the courses of the pharmacy, like the PharmD course, Doctor of Pharmacy. I'm a little bit confused about that.
Yeah. So in the United States, doctors don't write prescriptions. In India, doctors gives the prescription. Doctor will dictate the prescription to somebody. In United States, the doctor's work is to diagnose the patient. And the pharmacist, which is a Pharm D, what you are saying, pharmacist work to give you the medicine, what doses, whether crocin 500 or 650 milligram, that is to be decided by the pharmacy. In India, some of the big hospitals have started this practice, but in India, still at this stage, it is a premature part of it. So you are actually going in a hospital setup with that, okay, and you are prescribing the drugs, actual drugs and all. That is the job of the PharmD. And the world is moving. US has already scrapped B Farm type of courses already. They have made the PharmD as the entry level. India is in a transition phase at phase because unless the doctors and hospitals accept it. So I was told some of the hospitals have started it, but still it is a long way to go before it is really accepted in hospitals. Dr. Khare sir, if you want to add
Okay,
anything to that.
sir.
Anybody else can either you can put it in chat box in the question answer tab, or you can, if there is no question, then we can close this session.
Yeah, we can close.
So
I
thank
think
you very
yeah.
much, Dr. Ramesh Khare sir, Hetal ma'am, and all the students who have joined it into that. We will put this on the YouTube today's session. Also, we'll put it on YouTube, astutepromo.com, as I said, the website. We will send you the email. You have already registered with us, so we will send you the email. You can go through this recorded session again. So you
Yep.
can circulate it to other students who could not join it, or your friends or anybody. So this recording we will be circulating to all of you. Please circulate it to other students so that they can get a benefit of this program.
Thank you very much, Dr.
Thank you.
Tushar
Thank
and
you.
Hetal
Thank you.
ma'am.
Really
Thank
appreciate it.
you.
Yeah, we'll
Bye.
close the session. Thank you.